Hello, everyone. I just got back from watching the new film, Madam Web. Yes, that's right. I went and I saw the Madam Web in the movie theaters, just so everyone at home could get a glorious movie review of it. Um, Now, I'm sure many of you have heard many things about Madam Web from the internet. I have also heard many things about it. I did see the Doug Walker review before. I think Doug Walker's review of it made me think, man, I should go see this movie to review it myself. So I can weigh in on the conversation going on right now. Some people are calling this like the death of superhero movies, one of the worst movies ever. You know, it's like embarrassingly bad for the superhero genre. And I'm here to tell you, this movie is not good. However, it is significantly better than many other contemporary superhero films. Like I'm talking, it's better than all the Sony Spider-Man, like the Spider-Man Homecoming is better than all of those. Maybe not the one with Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin and Alfred Molina. Maybe that one's a little bit better, but it's better than any of the Captain Marvel movies. It's better than many of the DC movies. That's right, boys. It's bad. Is it that bad? Yes. It is that bad, but it's also not that bad. Shockingly. Yeah, I'm gonna have. This is not me being a contrarian take person here either. I have something to say about this. I went in expecting the absolute dog shit worst, and for many ways, it actually is the dog shit worst. Specifically, the directing, the cinematography, the acting is some of the worst acting I've ever seen. It legitimately it sounds like porn or like fan film acting, where it's like I no, I can't go now. You take care of them. I know you are so busy, to do this. You didn't have to get caught up in this. Bye. Like, and the main villain, every line of dialogue the main villain has was redubbed and ADR'd in. So it sounds like a bad like Chinese dub of his voices, where he's going, I worked so hard. I came from nothing to build this up. I worked so hard from nothing to build this up, and now they want to take it away from me, and I won't let them. So the whole, if you look at the trailer, people were complaining like, "Oh, they spoiled the thing that the Ezekiel's the guy who killed his mom." The first opening thing is this guy kills Madam Web's mom in the Amazon. Like, that's how it opens in the Amazon, and then he kills this fucking woman, and then it proceeds to modern day New York, and she's driving an ambulance. And then no, then the mystical spider people tribe, who all have this somehow have like face painted like roots covering the body to make them look like Spider-Man, but they're not Spider-Man, but they look like Amazonian tribe Spider-Man. There's a tribe of the Spider-Men live in the Amazon jungle, and Madam Web is born in the Amazon mystical jungle, and then she's a fucking EMT in New York. And the movie, listen, Dakota Johnson, I don't like. I don't. She's a terrible actress. There's no denying that she is utterly horrific in this movie. Whether that's bad directing or her just being, that's just how might she be how she is, Kind of like a more monotone Pauly Shore, where she constantly sounds like she's high. Like, no, you can't do that. It's like, nah, you can't do this. It's Pauly Shore. I got to go. But just monotone that down. You got Dakota Johnson. It's, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do this. And she sounds like that the whole. She sounds fucking. She looks and sounds stoned off her ass the whole movie, and she acts. It's not just like her fucking voice sounds like that. Her whole body is just wrong. It just feels it's not real acting. It's like a joke. It's like a joke of an acting performance. Same thing with Sydney Sweeney. First of all, they cast Sydney Sweeney as a teenager, and she does not look like a teenager. All the the girls in the movie who are in the Spider Woman costumes are like young teenage girls. Like they're talking like 14 probably, like not old. They're not like old. They're not like in their early 20s or like late teens. They're like early like high school teenagers. And it's like no, they really like one of the things in the movie is that Dakota Johnson, Madam Web, Chrissy, whatever, Cassie Webb is her name, and Cassie is accused of abducting these young girls who all look like they are about the. Everyone in the movie looks like they're the same age. Like all the girls, they all look like they're the same age as Cassie. They all look about the same age. And the thing is, why I didn't think this movie was as bad as many people are saying. When you go to see a movie superhero called Madam Web, you're expecting the worst, like overly modern feminist dog shit you've ever seen bashed over your head. But frankly, honestly, I think, hot take, the dialogue in this movie is written terribly. Like the writing and the editing and the pacing is probably terrible, but the idea for the script, like there was someone on the writing team who had a good sense of how to write something. Honestly, I think the actual plot of what happens, like the overall idea of the plot, is actually good. It's a good fucking idea. It's this Ezekiel Sins Peruvian man. Ezekiel is not a fucking Hispanic name, by the way. It's a fucking stupid to call a Hispanic man Ezekiel Sins. That's like calling like a white man uh Javier no good. You know, it's like this fucking blonde hair guy named Javier no good. But he the whole thing is that he kills he shoots Madam Web's mom in the jungle. And the plot of the movie is he sees the future and sees that these three girls are going to grow up and kill him. But he, in this hubris, wants to stop the future from happening so much that he ends up being the architect of his own demise. Because, so it's not that the girls all team up and beat him with girl power. Madam Web is specifically said she has no physical strength, she is weak, and she could not beat Ezekiel in a straight one-on-one fight, so she has to outsmart him and outwit him using her powers of future sight to stop him from committing his evil acts and allowing his evil plan to come to fruition. And that's the jug. That's the crux. And you know what? For a female superhero, that's a lot better than Miss Madam Web beats up the bad guy and makes him go boom boom because he realizes that girls get it done. Girls, we have girl power now. And they're super strong. And I get it's a superhero movie or whatever, but like it is always immersion breaking when a man with superpowers and a woman with superpowers fight. You know, because it's like you don't like seeing women like in fights with men. It's fucking weird. Maybe that's just me personally, but in this doesn't have that. No, she has to overcome the odds and overcome being physically less strong than the more dominant male character and has to outwit him. And in the end, she really didn't even defeat him. His own hubris defeated himself. You know? And then she got her revenge on her mother's killer, who she didn't even know her mother was murdered, but she ended up getting her revenge in a roundabout way. My dog is sniffing me. What do you think of movie Madam Web? You like it? Do you like Madam Web? Yeah, you didn't like Madam Web. It was terrible. It was a terrible movie. I'm not saying it's a good movie, by the way. I'm saying it was fucking awful. But it did not have a lot of feminist bullshit in it. Like there was like no lines. There was like no feminist lines in the movie whatsoever. It was pure. It felt like from a different era. The script was. It was so weird. It feels like a movie that would have came out like 20 years ago. You know, which oddly was set in 2003. So maybe there's something going on there. But like, there's like none of like the modern like weird political bullshit. There was no politics in it at all, which was weird. As like you expect the female superhero movie to have some bullshit like that in it, but there wasn't. You know, all the girls are, you know, they're all upset because they don't have their parents abandon them, you know, and they all bond on the shared experience of not having parents, right? And it's like, well, that's something. They aren't just the girls. I don't know. It's not great. The character writing is not amazing, and dog, stop squeaking. Stop squeaking. You just want to play. Yes. Stop squeaking. Stop squeaking. Um, but the villain gets defeated because a giant Pepsi sign crushes him. So thank you, brand partners Pepsi, for defeating the super. Eventually, the power of Pepsi, the power of Pepsi, the power of the strong brand partnership with Sony and Pepsi was allowed. It's what allowed Madam Web to defeat Ezekiel Sins. Frankly, the movie really went to shit once they started putting them in the superhero outfits. Because at the end, Madam Web gets blinded for no reason, and then she gets paralyzed. So, like, despite overcoming the odds, her reward is that she's blinded and paralyzed, and then starts talking like super esoterically. The entire movie, she talks like a normal 30-year-old woman, right? She talks like a real person. Well, as real as Dakota Johnson's acting can allow you to be, but she isn't written like a weird person. Supposed to be. She's written like she's supposed to be a normal lady, and then suddenly, after defeating the bad guy, she suddenly becomes super esoteric and like cryptic and weird about stuff, saying, "Oh yes, I see. I can see you have all bright futures, girls. You're all gonna succeed so well. You're all gonna stand up and fight for what's right and for justice." Whereas before that, she was like talking like a normal fucking person. And it's like there was no transition. It just happened. It just fucking happened. What else I have to say about this movie? It was shot like shit. The camera work was genuinely nauseating at points. It was terrible. Edited for crap. The whole like sequence, everything was like put in the wrong place. They shouldn't have opened on the Amazon. They should have opened with her in like the fucking EMT. They should have opened in New York and then shown the stuff in the Amazon in flashbacks, right? Like that would have made more sense. You know, like they chose to reveal things in a way that they chose to reveal things in the least interesting way possible. So there was no suspense or build up or like mystery of what the fuck's going on. The audience knows what's happening, what's going on. The characters don't know, which sometimes works. But the problem is that like it leads to no tension because we all kind of like know what's gonna happen. You know. There's no tension. Ranger, what do you think of this movie? You want your toy? Go get it. There's no tension. There's no stakes. There's no nothing. It's just not great. Stop. I'm recording my fucking movie review of Madam Web. Fine, I'll play toys with you. But I thought Dakota Johnson's performance is so bad it wraps around to being kind of endearing, though. Honestly, like she is so consistently terrible with every line. It's delivered so monotone and terrible. Like, why didn't they ADR her lines? Like, why did they ADR all of the fucking guys' lines? It's so distracting and bad. It was so bad. There was a point, technical problems. There's a point in the movie where they literally like just like super sped the footage up so that it would fit within like the clip of like they just like it was like an editing thing I would do to like make something work when I was fucked up. This is a multi-million-dollar movie budget and they did that. It was like the worst shitty like edit in Vegas to speed up footage. It wasn't even like a good speed up. It was clearly not shot to be sped up, so it looks super jarring. This happens multiple times in the movie. The ending climax is like so fucking poorly edited. It's like you can't tell what's going on, and it's a disaster. It turns into a fucking mess. The real kicker, though, the one that got me, I thought I'm sitting in the theater and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on with this. And then I thought about it. I'm like, oh fuck, this is so stupid. So Dakota Johnson has a coworker, a partner in her EMT thing. And okay, before I go to this, I have to also say they say the line when you know how in Spider-Man they say with great power comes great responsibility, which means if you're given power, you must consider what you are supposed to do with it. Right? For Madam Web, she is told if you take the responsibility, you will be given great power. As in, if you assume your destiny, you will have a lot of power. You'll get magic ghost powers. The whole point of Spider-Man thing is that you have to like consider like, oh, if you actually were given these powers, you have to consider, you know, using those for the right thing. Like you have to do the right thing with them. You know, that's what they're for. This is the line spoken by Uncle Ben to Peter Parker, by the way. Speaking of which, she's a partner in EMT who has a sister who's played by Emma Roberts, by the way. Emma Roberts fucking jump scared me in this movie. As we all know, the Emma Wars, I have PTSD from the Emma Awards on the site. Emma Roberts, favorite Emma of all three at the time. The Roberts posters, the Roberts fags, whatever you want to call them. They loved Emma Roberts. And she shows up in this movie and she's pregnant and it's like and blonde and pregnant and like what the fuck? Why is Emma Roberts in this movie? It was bizarre. But the funniest fucking thing happens. Emma Roberts is pregnant and she and Madam Webb's partner, who's played by Adam Scott, who's pretty okay in the movie actually. He's okay. Okay, fine actor. He always just he kind of plays himself, but he's got decent range. Not decent range, but he's got good dramatic ability to play himself well in dramatic situations, right? Like, it's okay for an actor to play themselves as long as they can put themselves in a lot of different situations, right? Like, the character is always just them. That's what people don't, like, get about, like, The Rock and some character actors like that who are, like, they kind of play the same thing every time. But it's important if they are playing the same thing to be able to do with themselves different things. Like you have to be comedic sometimes, to be serious sometimes, have to have emotional weight sometimes, and that's what carries through. Like I saw what's it called? Oh, it was the Apple TV show. It was really good. Um not it's not Succession. It sounds similar to Succession. Severance. Severance. Saw that show on Apple TV Plus. Adam Scott is great in that fucking show. He's so fucking good and emotional in that show. Like he really makes you fucking feel for him in that situation. But he's also just playing his normal Adam Scott. Like he just feels like that guy. Like he doesn't feel like he doesn't ever feel like not whatever that same character he plays in other shows or whatever. It's the same guy, you know. But lots of great emotional range, right, for that one guy. And that's important. But dude, he's in this movie and he's gonna be the uncle to this character, right? And oh my god, I realized this. It didn't fucking click for me. It didn't click for me. But Madam Web says, "Oh, he's all the fun of the being a dad with none of the responsibility." And then she says, "Well, we'll see about that." And I didn't realize his name is Ben. And he's gonna be Uncle. He's gonna be Uncle Ben. And then the baby which is born is fucking Peter. It's Peter Parker. It's Peter Parker. No, it's Peter Parker. It's Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man. They fucking they like hide the fact that Spider-Man is in the movie. Uncle Ben is there. Oh, dude, I laughed so fucking hard, dude. I laughed. I fucking laughed. Just what the fuck? Ah. Wow. Someone thought they were so clever with that, and it was the dumbest fucking thing. I don't know what else to say about the movie. Oh, I know. So I have a plain to say about this movie. Yeah, it was fucking awful. Like everything about it is like so much of it is parts of it are so astonishingly bad. It's like shocking it's been released to theaters. Like this should never have been released, right? As it is. They should have done reshoots. They should have done something because as it is, it's fucking atrocious. But I mean, the thing is that there's bones of a halfway like mediocre movie in there, right? It's inoffensive. It didn't make me angry. You know, there was parts that were fucking hilariously stupid. It's a stupid movie, but not a sometimes you go see bad movies. Like I go see like fucking a new Star Wars movie, or most of these Marvel movies really. Like I think the Black Panther, Captain Marvel movies, which I haven't reviewed the Marvels yet. I might have to download and review the Marvels on this mildly angry movie review show. But this movie was not offensively bad. I mean, it's shockingly bad, but it is not offensive. It does not upset me. It did not make me angry that I went to go see it. It did not make me feel like I did not groan in embarrassment that I was there. I laughed quite a bit. I laughed at the kind of terrible acting and like the thing is the editing and action is not so bad that it's like funny. It's more confusing and annoying. Like any of the action stuff, it just sucks. It's not like so edited so poorly it's funny. It's just confusing. But the acting is the actual performances are that bad, and they're funny. Um, like there's the chemistry of the three teenage Spider Woman. By the way, all the Spider they show the Spider Woman outfits like only in dreams and like visions, and probably for the best. Because I mean, I'm sure a lot of the reason people are going to see this movie is because they want to see like fucking the sex Sydney Sweeney, who's like this new sex icon for people online. And I see a lot of people horny posting about Sydney Sweeney because she has breasts and is blonde. Uh, Personally, I actually don't really see it with her. Don't really like. I don't really care for her face is not. I don't like her. Her face kind of turns me off. Mostly, I think it might be her eyes. Her eyes look just like so like thousand cock stare. You can't unsee it, right? She just looks. She looks fucked, man. I don't like. I don't know. Something about her just like upsets me when I see her. So genuinely, I don't know what it is, but plenty of people find her super attractive. Obviously, people horny post about her all the time. So I'm sure a lot of the appeal is going to see her in the skin tight fucking Spider Woman outfit, with the black and white. And frankly, that's fine. That's a good marketing. Rely on actresses' sex appeal if you have to. I mean, that's people have been doing it forever. No reason you can't do that. I don't actually have a problem with that morally. Shockingly, I don't have a problem with it morally. But I mean, you don't see, and the costume's not super. It's not super. It's not great. It's just fucking stupid. The Madam Web costume they show at the end with her, because by the way, she gets blind at the end and paralyzed because in the comics she's blind and paralyzed. But that just feels weird. That like this, like there's like no transition from like the transition from her being like this relatively normal New York 30-year-old woman EMT person to being I'm gonna play this dog to being a cryptic like fucking like elder woman who like is like observing, ooh, I have control over these ladies, ooh, or I'm the leader of it's like she's fucking Professor X basically for Spider Girls, and like the transition from her being like a not that to like being blind, paralyzed in a wheelchair, and then also suddenly having like what does she do for money? Like what kind of job does she have? She was an EMT driver. How did she make money now? She just like place bets in the lottery or something because she can see the future. Like how does she make money? I guess she could be a stockbroker. That would make sense if you could see the future. You could be a stockbroker and make a lot of money, or like play the stock market game. I don't fucking know. But what money does she have? But she's like the leader of the Spider Girls, and she has this fucking weird red spider outfit. By the way, the whole crux of the movie is about there's these super special spiders in the Amazon that grant you powers, and that's what the main villain wants. And I don't know, man. It's fucking stupid. It's just stupid. That part's so stupid. In the middle of the movie, so like the whole movie is that there's these three teenage girls who are running away from this Ezekiel guy who wants to murder them, right? And he wants to murder them because in the future they kill him. And he sees in the future that they're going to kill him. So he's like, I'm going to find them and I'm going to kill them before they kill me. Which makes sense. Although he could just also find them and then tell them to leave him alone. Like bribe them, like pay him a lot of money and say, hey, don't kill me in the future, please. But he's also kind of crazy, so whatever. It's a fine enough, kind of thing. But the movie, but she sees that they're going to get killed by him, so she saves and rescues them, and then drives them out to the woods. It looks like she's kidnapping them. She rescues them. They all kind of bond because they're all orphans, or their parents aren't around for them. Whatever. They've either been abandoned by their parents, or their parents are dead, or whatever. The one Mexican lady, her dad got deported, which is hilarious because no way, no one's gonna. I guess it's 2003, so Bush era, but also like sorry sorry your dad didn't fill out his fucking paperwork, but yeah, maybe he should. Maybe if he was a fucking functional person and he didn't fucking. Yeah, I don't feel bad that your dad got deported. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sure it sucks for you, but that's your dad's fault, not the world's. You don't have a right to fucking live here unless you. That's just how the world works. Anyways, I got my dog's rope here. He wants this rope. Yeah, I got the rope. What was I saying? But yeah, no. But then she's got them, and she's got them in a motel, and then she finds out that this guy killed her mom in the Amazon. So then she decides, well, like she's on the run, like they're on the run from this guy. She's like doing everything she can. She doesn't know how to protect them, so she leaves him with Uncle Ben, and then goes to the Amazon for a week. Like, I'm sorry if like you're trying to, if there's like a fucking crazy killer for the plot, both for like in logic, but also for the plotting of the story, it makes no sense, right? For like the pacing of like the fucking story. I get they have to do the whole thing where she goes to the Amazon and meets this guru guy or whatever, but they don't have to. Like for like the pacing, like it like comes to a stop. Like they just hide out for like a week and then they come back. Like what? Like the whole thing is that this fucking Ezekiel Sins guy's like on their ass. It's like trying to track them down and kill them. And it's like Thriller like trying to escape from this crazy guy, with superpowers. And then their solution, and then she just leaves for a week and goes on a vacation. Like, no, that's stupid. That's a stupid fucking writing decision. See, whoever like did like the actual scripting for this, like I think someone had an initial rough draft of this movie that was probably pretty okay, probably pretty decent. And then when it came time for the writers' room to fix it, to like draft this up into actual scenes, it makes no fucking sense. It's so retarded. But by the end, she's in this wheelchair and she's got this like these fucking red sunglasses on. She's got these full red Spider Woman outfit. And she's got these super red lipstick, which looks terrible on her. She's got very white skin and very black hair and super bright red lipstick. It's like, wow, that ages her horribly. I don't know, bro. Not a good look. Um. Anyways, bro. Also, her hair is dyed black because you can see multiple times in the movie where you can see like her natural brown color in the hair like thing, and it's kind of distracting because it looks so like obviously dyed. Which I guess it's not the end of the world, but it looks weird. Something to point out. I would say, here's what I would say. I saw Madam Web in the XL screen at my local Epic Cinema. Would I recommend seeing Madam Web in theaters if you were going with friends to laugh at it? Maybe. There's nothing in that made me like I doesn't it's not a movie that made me super angry, which is a good thing. For a superhero movie to not make me fucking angry, probably a good thing. Even like I thought Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I'm not sure if I did a review on that. Quick mini review of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Not the worst movie I've ever seen, but I fucking despise people using animal cruelty as like an emotional, like beat over the head thing kind of thing. I think it's kind of sick to subject the audience to animal cruelty, even for like an emotional, like it's like emotionally manipulate them into crying and caring about this shit. That happens in that movie, and you know what? Fuck it. It's shitty. I don't think it's good. That kind of it upset me. Like I don't like seeing animals getting hurt and killed and murdered. Okay, you can't just do that to like bludgeon people and make people like somewhat care about this emotional bullshit. Like it's if it's done tastefully, whatever. But it wasn't done tastefully. It was done like melodramatically. You know, it's like borderline. It's like Elfenlied. When they fucking kill that dog, whatever in that one scene. Right when the kids of the class all beat up and kill that dog in Elfenlied. And like Elfenlied's like so bad it's funny, but like people give James Gunn a pass for whatever the fuck reason. It's cheap. It's just cheap. It's not fucking. You can maybe I get it, like because that's actually the background of the character or whatever, but it feels fucking cheap. And the way they showed it was kind of gross. Didn't like that movie. Movie made me. I mean, the movie was probably an objectively better movie than this one, but it also made me angry and made me like feel like kind of shitty after leaving the theater. I didn't feel shitty after leaving the theater. I thought it was funny. It was terrible, but didn't make me mad. Didn't like make me want to fucking kill everyone at Sony. So you know what? In that situation, a thumbs up. On that end, I'd recommend to go see this movie in the cheapest way you could possibly see it. If you have $1 second run movie theater, go see it there when it gets there, probably in a couple weeks. If you have some friends who want to go do this, I would recommend. I would say a soft recommend if you can go to it cheaply. Otherwise, watch it on streaming. I would recommend watching it in some way. I would recommend watching it in some way because it is so bizarre and it is so like shockingly bad that it's worth seeing. But also, it is not like full feminist. I guess people would call it the woke. I hate the word woke. Whoever came up with the term woke, I think it's like something actual libtards came up with. But I think anyone on the right saying the word woke has already lost the culture war. We cannot use the language of the fucking enemy. We have to call it what it is. There's no libtarded sentiment, okay, in the movie. There's no libtard bullshit in the movie. My dog needs to go to the bathroom, it looks like. So I'll wrap this review up quickly by saying I would give this movie, I don't know, out of five. We're doing like out of five, 10, out of 10. I don't know, fucking. It's a 2 out of 5. It's a one. It's a 2 out of 5 or a fucking 3 out of 10. How about that? Yeah, that's not the same thing mathematically. 2 out of 5, 4 out of 10. Um, Not as bad. Not as bad. People are saying it's gonna be as it has though. Not that bad. Could be worse. Maybe Madam Web better than the Marvels? Yes. Sony wins again. Sony always wins, baby. Final thoughts. If you have a movie you'd like me to review, please post it in the comments below, and I'll think about it. This is gonna be the year of the movie review. I'll be doing more decently regular movie reviews. When I see something new that I like, it will not be like a weekly thing, maybe not even a monthly thing. But if something new comes out that I'd like to say something on, I'm gonna make a review about it. Mostly new stuff. I may review old stuff, but I think I'm much better at reviewing new and current stuff. I think it's much. I don't know why. I just think it's better for me to review stuff like that. It's hard for me to go back and look back at a film. It just also feels like work. Then, if I'm going back and watching a whole movie, I'm just doing it for fun. This, I specifically went to go see the movies to review it for all of you. Here comes the dog. Ranger, say hi to the camera. Good boy. That's a good dog. It's a winner. Madam Web, my hat's off to you, milady. Dakota Johnson should consider a career in not acting, though. Maybe a career in, like, I don't know, fucking. You know what, man? Keep it up, dude. You go, girl. You go, girl.